I hated that. Woof.
Yeah. I'm Kristen.
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Big Mouth, Season 5, Episode 8, A Very Big Mouth Christmas. Blech.
Yeah.
So there was a lot. Not all of it was terrible.
Yeah.
But the lotness of it
really... we started out with I
was like, oh, we're going to do 3 vignettes. I was like, oh, 4 vignettes. I was like, 5 vignettes?
And it also started out in a very big mouth way with Connie telling Jesse about the first Christmas.
Oh, I thought you meant Connie drinking her. No,
I don't care for that. It's a no for me. I don't like the puppets. I don't like the whole conceit of I don't know.
You didn't like the puppet squirting everywhere?
I don't want it.
It made it too real.
I don't like it.
So you're right. The Jesse's first Christmas. Yeah. It was the Christmas Story.
Yeah.
You're right. That was very big mouth.
Yeah, it felt like where we were going.
The joke good. With the doctor goat, and she was like, "You're gonna have a very weird sex dream involving the goat later."
Jesse was like, "Oh, I don't want that."
And Connie's like, "Would it help if I told you were a goat as well?" And she was like, "I guess, sure." And she's like, "Well, you're not.
You're not." Yeah. That stuff was all great, and even the Andrew dreaming he was Christian, wishing to be Christian.
Was funny.
That was fine too. And then we went off the fucking rails, and the rest of it was so weird.
I hated the 400-year-old virgins.
Look,
hated it.
The dirty elves are funny on SNL only. Mm-hmm. Only. Mm-hmm. It was, I didn't want to see Santa's dick. I didn't want to see him railing Mrs. Claus. I didn't want to see an elf orgy. No.
It was like watching Muppet Babies fucking.
And I didn't want to hear Coach Steve say thicken the worm again. I didn't want any of that. And it's too late for me, but you can save yourself.
But before you go, dear God, I have to tell you the story of Father Johann, because otherwise he will eat my bones.
Yeah, okay. Does it help that we're not children?
I think he'll still come. So,
honestly, bring it. After this, I welcome living in Vater Johann's bowels forever.
And several of these, like that one, I think I liked that one. I would have loved it if it was somehow isolated from the rest of this.
Yeah.
But it did sort of get really swamped, pulled down by all the rest of it.
So they also were all different animation styles, and that one looked like a video game that I play called Don't Starve. So if anybody's familiar with that video game, it looked kind of like that, which was cool.
I can't remember their names. It's like the 2 Scandinavian demon girls.
Yeah, the twin. They're like twins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their names aren't listed on here. Lottie and Mila Janssen.
Janssen.
Lottie
and Mila. Ooh. Yeah, it was just like that weird European, how they have like Krampus type European Christmas traditions.
Or Sinterklaas.
But it was Vater Johann, who lives under the sea in a castle made out of children's bones. And on Christmas, he comes to eat the children. And it does not matter if you are good or bad, because all bones taste as sweet.
Yeah.
And you have to dye eggs and present them. And then you have to play dead in your children's coffin.
Yeah.
And pray to the Mongoose King. And if Vater Johann chooses you and the Mongoose King shows you favor and he likes your eggs, he will show up and challenge Vater Johann to a dance-off. Yep. And if he wins, then you are saved. And if Vater Johann wins, he is turned to cream and he eats you.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the village eats the cream on the 29th of December.
Love the imagination.
There's that.
Love it.
It's yours now.
Yeah.
You're stuck with it. I've passed the curse on.
This is like It Follows. It's your responsibility now.
Yeah. So the little comer boy was the What If Andrew Was Christian. That one was very that one. So I would have taken Jesse's First Christmas, the little comer boy, Vater Johann, And honestly,
Lola.
sure.
Yeah.
She just made a snow mom.
Yeah. And hers was like stop motion.
Uh-huh.
It's just sad. It's just sad.
Well, Rodney showed up with a extra large chicken parm and some Diet Barks cream soda. So I think Rodney is going to come through for Lola, but
so you didn't like the featuring Ludacris?
Merrick Hill on 34th Street. I did. It was gilding the lily. There was two.
So then really we just both didn't like the elf fucking one.
Yeah, but I didn't like them all together. I thought it was too much. Yeah. The elf fucking one, I hope to purge from my.
Yeah, I'd like to never think about that again.
But
even Rachel was sitting out there and she was not focusing because she is reading a book, but she kept on looking up.
She's hating this with like every fiber of her being,
and she was like, "This is terrible."
But the Merrick Hill on 34th Street was funny enough just in giving Luda a backstory. We now sort of understand why he speaks this way. Yeah. It's John Wick kind of. It was
kind of a John Wicky
that his owner was murdered. And so now and his name's Pretzel.
I'm obsessed. Pretzel is a good name.
He's trying to get revenge for his owner who was killed. And it carried over into the unbearable lightness of being Santa, which, again, if it weren't in the vicinity of all the rest of these, I think I would have loved it.
Yeah.
Because basically it's Santa's in Matthew's house and Matthew's sister is trying to wake him up to go get Christmas presents. And he's like, Santa's not real. It's just presents mom and dad give us. And Santa hears him say this.
And has an existential crisis.
And because he's like,
am I real?
I never thought about it before, but how can I drink 1 million glasses of milk in one night? And so he kind of, he talks himself out of existing.
Yeah.
But also it meets up with Merrick Hill on 34th Street, where he basically ends up teaming up with Luda and taking the bullet for Luda. So Santa is now dead.
Well, and he also, like, at one point, Jay had asked how come he never gets any presents. So then Santa is the one
that is like dying.
He leaves Luda for Jay, which is actually so sweet.
And again, if it wasn't paired with all of this and the puppet vignettes continued through the entire thing, and so Puppet Shame Wizard was fine. We got some Kermit the Frog slander that was pretty funny.
Not even so much slander, but
well, he's a mean drunk and calls his wife a pig.
I mean, she is a pig.
But we got Puppet Rick, and we almost got rid of Puppet Rick, but there are dreams that cannot be. And so, man.
Yeah.
So we're gonna call it a night. We won't be finishing this tonight. We're gonna try and get the rest of this to you this week so that it doesn't take too long. But we are only 4 people.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, we're 2 behind.
Yeah.
But I'm saying we're doing a lot. Yeah. So let us know what you thought about this. A for effort. They did it. They tried it.
They did do it.
And again, the only thing I outright despised was the elf orgy and the squirting puppet Connie.
Yeah, not a fan. It would not have offended me so much if it were a cartoon. It was gross. That was real liquid. I didn't care for it. And
a lot of it.
Yeah.
Well, and she was drinking it with Campari.
2 dashes of bitters.
I mean, I love Campari, but it's going to be a minute for me.
No. It was not my favorite episode of the season or the series.
It was a no for me.
Yeah.